Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first FFUK video of the 2018/19 season. And I would like to hand you over to our host for this evening, Mr. Chris Galloway.
Thank you, Peter. That was a lovely introduction. Yes, that was Peter Cronin, and I'm Chris, as he said, and as he also said, welcome to another season of FFUK and all that entails. Yeah, welcome to the video. It's great to be back. FPL is back. FFUK is back. Yeah, the mini league is open. And we're looking for record numbers again this year. We've gone up every year, haven't we, Pete, since we started?
Yes, we have. Every year.
Last year was 226, so maybe we can crack 250 this year, but we need your help to do that. So not your help, Pete. We need the people out there's help. We need the FFUKers' help. They can share the post with their friends and family and colleagues, their football team, their church, their whatever, their kebab shop, whatever. Just as long as we know the email address of the person who's joining and they pay us or they pay whoever, we don't mind as long as we get the money eventually. Yeah, let's spread the word. And everything's up online now on the website. Pete, do you know the website address?
Yes, it's ffuk.me.
Excellent, beautifully done. Yeah, so a quick shout out to all at Shaftesbury Football Club, because we've had a few of them in the league for the last couple of years and hoping to get a few more this year. So I think Coolers, Sean Colohan and Steve Coffin and James Page Chatton are on the case, hopefully, and if not, they will be soon. So yeah, shout out to all of the guys at Shaftesbury Football Club. And if you're in a football club, then try and get a few of the guys involved, yeah, or your office or whatever. So that's the way it works. That's the way it's invite only, but you can invite. So yeah, that's it. Basically, we've got a new league. Well, we haven't got a new league. We've got the same league, but we've got some new features. Any new features? What new features have we got, Pete?
Okay, so for those who haven't seen the info yet, the main difference is in the payment methods. So you can now pay us direct via PayPal to the FFUK League, which will mean you don't have to pay an agent. You can just pay us electronically, and it will be very easy to check if you've paid for us then. So feel free to use that option. The details are on the website on the new season post, or you're welcome to carry on paying your agent in the same way you always have done. Just a new option for you. There's then two main changes to the features of the way we play FFUK. We're going to rejig the cups, make it easier to understand, make sure that every player gets at least 2 rounds of cup football. As some of you remember, a few years back, we filtered the losers in round 1 down to the Challenge Cup. We're going to be doing a similar thing, following a template, a tournament template, much like the World Cup or Wimbledon, where we start off with 1 draw and then everyone will play winner of said match until it gets down to a final. So that should be good. It should hopefully make it easier to follow, and it will mean there aren't draws through the year, but it means you will be able to predict who you're going to be playing each round on. So hopefully that's good. The third, I think, a big change was a suggestion from one of our contributors, Paul Baker, which was a really good idea, which was rather than the voluminous prize we were giving to the manager of the month and the runner-up, which defaulted to double game week month and to December, which are the 2 biggest months of the season always, is why not let's break that prize down and issue monthly prizes. And we all thought that was an excellent idea. So we're going to be giving manager of the month all through the season.
Every month.
Every month, more prize winners.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll decide the amount of. We'll decide the amount for the manager of the month. I think our special guest is just getting a bit frisky in the background there. But anyway, yeah. So that's basically it, really. Pete's gone through the changes with you, and the cut. Yeah. So it's those three things. But it's all explained on the website. But let's move on to the main event. The reason we're really here, it's not just to tell you about the FFUK League. We've got a special guest with us. The font of all FFUK knowledge, perhaps, from certainly from last season. Anyway, and anyway, I said this was special. This is last season's champion we've got with us, Jamie Stewart. So round of applause. Hopefully he's there. Oh, there he is. Brilliant.
Oh, evening, chaps. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you, Jamie? You're looking well.
I've been called special on many an occasion, actually, mate. Yeah, thank you. I'm good. Not bad. I'm looking forward to this. I've not done much actual research on this season, to be honest, mate. With the World Cup and various other bits and pieces, I think I need to really get my head down and get into FPL in the coming 2.5 weeks before the season starts. But I'll see what little gems I can provide you with tonight.
Excellent. Okay. Well, the reason I said it was special is because you didn't just win the league. You won the manager of the month, and you won the head-to-head. So it was an unprecedented treble. So it was amazing. Fair play to you for doing that. Right, let's move on to some questions about last season in particular. My first question is just one word, really: highlights. What highlights have you got from last season, other than winning everything?
Well, yeah, it was. Don't get me wrong; it was a great year, but it was just a solid year, really. I didn't really have any massive game week scores. I had a fantastic December that won me the manager of the month, like you mentioned. But overall, there were no kind of there's no kind of magic moments, really. I think December was great. I made a couple of key player decisions at the start of the month. I brought in Alonso, and I think he averaged something like 8 points. I don't know, something like 8 points a game throughout. And then Lingard was the other one. Brought Lingard in just as he kind of hit his form. I think he'd maybe sort of shown a little bit of it, and I brought him in, and he just was flying really through December and a bit of January as well. So yeah, a couple of good sort of picks that I had there that I was really proud of. But overall, yeah, just a steady season really. I think didn't have many really bad weeks. You know, where you kind of look at your sort of overall score. If you can be inside the top million every game week, I think then overall you're going to be doing all right. And I think that's generally what I was doing.
Yeah, so obviously it was a steady season, obviously a steady good season. But was it a good start you had, or were you sort of there? Do you remember sort of where you were after the first couple of weeks, or?
I think I had a decent start. Probably a couple of years previously, I'd had shockers really. I'm always kind of happy to play the wild card early doors if that needs to happen. I think there's some benefit in that. I wouldn't necessarily say I plan to do that, but I'm quite happy to. But this season sort of got off to a good start, if not an excellent one, but decent. And but I think, as I said, December was the one where I kind of shot up the table. I think I ended up in, probably, if I wasn't top, I was close to the top by the end of December, and kind of enjoyed front running from there on in, really.
Yeah, no, fair play. It was definitely December. I remember was when you kind of came to the forefront, really. Okay, so the next question, you've kind of answered, but there's one thing you can sort of put on it. What do you put your success down to? Were you really strict with yourself, or?
I mean, you don't have to mention me.
Oh, sorry, we're talking about success of last season. So I thought,
sorry,
I bother coming to you in this segment because I didn't want to give people bad information.
Oh, I misunderstood that completely. Sorry, Jamie, you go.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what.
I'm listening.
I will give you a mention, Pete, actually, because I know last year I bounced a few ideas off you guys, and I really enjoyed that, and it was really useful, to be honest. So, yeah, I'll give you credit where it's due, chaps. Yeah,
it didn't help us.
I'm not sure I'd call it good advice, but I think just like sort of talking out loud tends to help. I don't know.
Well, that's
what not to do.
What kind of what the WhatsApp group is about, isn't it? You don't have to give away your secrets, but it's quite good for a bit of discussion if
Absolutely.
there's a gem or just someone you want to chat about or whatever. So if you don't know people, we have a WhatsApp group, and for the new season, I'm sure we'll be getting some new FFUKers in there. So that will be good. Anyway, right, moving on. Have you got one golden rule, Jamie? Not Pete, just Jamie.
Well, I mean, just going back to success, I think, to be honest, the main thing I'd put it down to was luck. I kind of tried to sort of make the right decisions and pick the right players and whatever, but there was definitely a hell of a lot of luck involved there. I remember one week when my keepers for the start of the season were Elliott and Speroni, and Speroni was only really in there as an enabler. I suppose Elliott was kind of an enabler, and then Elliott got dropped. And was it Darlow? What was the other guy at Newcastle? Darlow came in, and I didn't have a keeper, and I was like, "Oh, absolute nightmare." And this was kind of like news just around about the time. I think it was like 10 minutes before team news. There was rumours floating around that Darlow was coming in. So do I take a hit? Do I not take a hit? And I didn't bother. I thought I'll take a chance. And Darlow came in, didn't have a keeper, and then Hennessy got injured in the warm up. And Speroni comes off my bench, makes a few saves, gets a few bonus points. I think he walked off with like 50, no, not 50, about 11 points or something like that. So it was just, there were times like that, kind of early on in the season where I kind of just thought, this might be my year, and it turned out to be. So, no, it was spot on. But I think you try and make the right decisions, but you absolutely need a lot of luck in this game. So that made a difference last year for me.
Fair enough. Pete, any thoughts there? Any golden rules that you like to stick by that people can avoid?
Not very good to sticking to golden rules. Hence, a little bit of inconsistency from me. I thought what Jamie said was true. That Speroni thing was absolutely key, and that's something I'm really bad at, which is sort of sitting things out if they're not going in your favour. So I'm the first to like get rid of injured players, or do something based on panic rather than strategy. And it just shows you, if you sit and wait. World Cup, for example, I took Perisic out and went all England in the semi-finals. I wasn't really playing seriously, but
not after that you were.
But anyway, it just shows you, I went all England, obviously for the love of the team, but it just shows you, that player that you're taking out is the next match winner.
It does, and we live and learn, don't we, Pete? We live and learn. Maybe not. Right, okay.
I concur, Chris. I concur.
Okay, so that's enough of last season. We should be looking ahead, really, shouldn't we? Because next season is not that far away, and especially with the Friday night deadline, it's going to come around pretty quick, I reckon. So we've only just really sort of, some of us haven't even set up a team yet, but we've logged in and at least selected some players in positions. Have you got a team name yet, Pete?
Me, yep. Thought of a good one for the start of the season. Zaha Shake Heartbreak.
Oh, from Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon album.
Yeah. Or second album, one of them.
Yeah. I think Youth and Young Manhood's one of their other albums. Maybe it's second album.
Excellent. That's a good one. And Jamie, have you got a name yet?
I'm glad you explained that one, mate, because that just went straight over my head, to be honest. I didn't have a clue about that one. No, I haven't, to be honest. I've barely had a chance to have a look at the player list, believe it or not. But what I'll probably do is scour it and try and come up with some semi-witty pun on someone's name, or maybe try and put 2 or 3 names together or something. But no, nothing exciting so far.
Okay, well, I've decided my team name is going to have the Chelsea manager's surname in it. I just haven't decided which pun to go with down that route yet, because I think I'm still on auto pick at the moment. Right, okay, so you spoke briefly there about the player list, Jamie. When you looked at it, who was the first pick that you thought, right, I'm having him straight away?
Well, my sort of starting point every year is to kind of look at the fixtures and try and work out which teams have the best games, and then sort of start from there. And like I say, I'm quite happy to wheel the wild card early doors if that's the right thing to do, if I'm struggling a little bit. So I generally tend to load up on teams with a decent start. Unfortunately, I can't really see any kind of really great runs for any of the big teams at the start of the season. So I don't know. Liverpool start off with West Ham at home. West Ham made a few signings. Hard to know whether they'll be any good or not. I remember sort of loading up on Arsenal players at home to West Ham a couple of seasons ago, and West Ham went to the Emirates and beat them, didn't they? So I don't know. Salah stands out, but at that price, 13 million, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think there'll be a few players coming back from the World Cup and probably not even starting that first week. So, and whereas Salah's probably had a bit more rest than most of them, he's probably nailed on, isn't he? Whereas maybe the likes of Kane might not be, the likes of, I don't know, Lukaku might not be. So yeah, probably Salah if you're talking about first name on the team sheet at this point in time.
Okay. And what about you, Pete?
Well, that World Cup hangover is slightly concerning for me. So, but from a purely a player that I want in the team straight away point of view, I've gone for KDB, who I should have stuck with last season. He's, an absolute fire and forget player. He's such a talent. He's wonderful to watch, which I think adds a load to FPL enjoyment, actually. He may well miss that first game, of course.
How much?
Sorry?
How much is he?
I think he's 10.
10 and a half, 10?
10 and a half, maybe, I think, yeah.
10 and a half. Yeah, I mean, last season, this feels like deja vu, Pete, because we said this last season.
I had him.
And we all had him. I don't know if Jamie had him as well, but me and you, Beth, both had him. And we said he's fire and forget. And after 3 weeks, he'd done nothing. So we forgot him.
Exactly.
We got rid of him. And then, if I remember rightly, he got an assist in the next game. And then Scott got about another 20 assists.
Yeah, and the points ticked along all season. So it's just about commitment.
That's a lot of money to tie up for, assists.
Interestingly, he is quite highly owned as well. So a lot of people are thinking along the same lines. 27% of teams he's in at the moment.
Yeah.
And do you fancy? I mean, are you going to put him in the team when he's just played right till the penultimate day of the World Cup, and he ain't going to play that first? Well, I don't think he's going to play that first game.
Yeah, maybe I won't. But yeah, I'll be.
The point remains, isn't it? It's the player you look at, and you're on that list. He is a player that stands out on that.
I need to try and create a low maintenance FPL team this season.
Right.
So low on transfers. Leave them in. Believe they will get the points because of their quality. That's what I'm looking for.
Leave and believe. Is that what you're calling it?
I'm not necessarily concluding.
That's my team name. It's there. That's it there, right there.
I like it. You can have it. Okay, right. So, from my point of view, the first person I looked at was Salah to see what price he was, and he's right at the top of the pile. I mean, we're gonna talk about him at some point. I'm sure it's not going to be a really long video, but okay. The other end of the scale, then. What about bargain basement stuff? Pete, have you found anything?
Bargain basement, yeah. Okay, so bargain basement. Daniels is at 4.5 mil this season. Now Bournemouth were rubbish sheets last season. And I actually think he's underperformed so badly that at 4.5 he can't possibly be a bad price. He gets the odd goal, gets the odd assist, any improvement at all, basically, and he's worth that 4.5 mil.
Is he on penalties?
No.
Okay. Is he on free kicks, corners?
Not sure.
I don't know if I'd go. Yeah. Anyway, he's cheap.
Well, 4.5 mil defender,
Absolutely. Okay. Jamie,
I think Bournemouth are an interesting proposition, actually, because you never really know what to expect from them. If they hit a patch of form in the season, which they tend to do, then their players they're absolutely dirt cheap, aren't they, this season? So I mean, even Callum Wilson.
Palace are the same. I think they're in the same boat, that they've underperformed a bit last season and have been underpriced this season. So there are 4.5 options. There are maybe even a 4.0 option, but there are options at Palace and Bournemouth. I've noticed a couple anyway.
Well, I think there's. I mean, a couple of other teams that I've earmarked. I don't think I'll be starting with them, but I think either probably West Ham or Everton will significantly outperform what they did last year and probably end up in the top 7 or 8. And their players again, they're dirt cheap because of how badly they did last year. And, I mean, you could even. I've even been looking at Southampton. They almost got relegated, obviously, and there's some absolute bargains there if they perform, but. That's the problem is who's going to perform. So I think it's sort of sit and wait first few weeks, see if anyone finds a bit of form, and then sort of might be a few hits early doors, if not the wild card.
Definitely. I mean, we had a quick chat before we came on air, and there are some bargains out there, and that's what makes this game so fun. I mean, it's basically a trade-off, isn't it, between your bargains and your high-priced players. If you get that balance right, you're doing something right, and you're going to go up the league. When we talked earlier, I definitely noticed there were sort of 4 or 5 teams. I mean, what other team got some bargains? I think if you look,
Watford.
Honest, yeah. I mean, you've got Delafeu, one of our old favourites. He's 5.5. You've got Will Hughes at 5.0. I think those two are definitely.
I've got Chalabar back in my team at 4.5 if he plays.
If he's fit, he'll play. Yeah, so yeah. He's a good option. It's just he had pretty much a whole year out. So
yeah.
Okay.
I'll be watching the pre-season carefully for those sorts of decisions.
Okay. Right. Next question, and I'll go to Jamie first. We've sort of probably maybe mentioned them, but who's going to be the top scoring player this year? Who's going to do what Salah did last year this year?
I think we've got the problem, haven't we? Certainly in terms of rotation at the big teams, who's going to get the minutes, who's going to play regularly. Having said that, I think most of the sort of the top 4, 5, maybe even 6 teams, there will be some players who play the vast majority of the time. So I think you're probably looking at, for City, you've got De Bruyne and possibly David Silva. And I'm kind of ignoring the defenders in this conversation, to be honest. But probably De Bruyne and Silva. At United, you've probably got Pogba's going to play most of the time. Lukaku's going to play most of the time if last season's anything to go by. Maybe Sanchez. Who else? We've got Liverpool. Probably got Salah and maybe Firmino. We're going to get plenty of minutes. But I still think there'll be a fair bit of rotation there. Spurs is probably the one. Certainly based on the last couple of years, the way you think maybe there's going to be a bit less rotation. So you've got kind of like Kane, Eriksen and Ali. So who to pick out of those guys? I think it's between Kane and Salah. Is Salah on pens? Does Salah take pens for Liverpool?
I think so. He was last season, wasn't
he? Yeah,
certainly towards the sort of second half of the season. So with that in mind, and the fact he's getting his midfield extra points for goals and clean sheets, I'll probably go with Salah again. I don't think he'll do as well as last year, but I think if anyone gets past him, then they'll be top, to be honest.
Okay. What about you, Pete? Who do you think top scoring player at the FPL?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I haven't actually given this one that much thought. One thing I was thinking then is Spurs go back to the new White Hart Lane, I think. Few weeks into the season.
Yeah, they have several away games to open the season because of that.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the City players, to be honest. I would never write off someone like Aguero to come out and have a massive season. But I really don't know, to be honest. It's usually someone that comes sort of sideways in, I find.
It certainly looked last year at City like Aguero was Pep's favourite. I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought he was going to play Jesus and Aguero would be perhaps playing second fiddle. But that last season, it looked like when he was fit, Aguero was the main man. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out this year.
Yeah,
it did, but it's another year down the line, isn't it? And Jesus is younger and Aguero's older. You know, I don't know. Okay, I don't know who's going to be the top scoring player in FPL. I'd like it to be a Chelsea player, but that's probably unlikely. Jamie's shaking his head. You never know.
Right, I'm going to throw one out for you. Aubameyang. What do you think to Aubameyang?
Oh yeah,
because we haven't mentioned him yet. He's in my team at the moment, or in my sort of first throes of a team. I think he's decent. There's a few of them, isn't there? At 11 million. There's Aguero, Aubameyang. The other one. I can't remember anyway. Those two in particular, or is Jesus 11 as well? Those two in particular.
Lukaku. What's Lukaku?
Aguero's 11.
Lukaku's the other one. I think you're going to have one of those, definitely, aren't you? You might even try and have two if you don't have Kane or Salah. There is even a way you could do all three, I guess. If you didn't have those two. But Aubameyang's an interesting one. He's got an amazing record. He's going to be the main man for Arsenal, isn't he? Lacazette, at the moment, they're playing two up front. If Lacazette is also nailed on, he's even cheaper.
But I mean, one thing I was going to say later when we're talking about teams is that Arsenal and Chelsea are pretty much unknowns. Don't know how Arsenal are going to line up.
I think we know how they're going to line up more than... Well, we know how they're going to line up, don't we?
Well, Aubameyang will be in there, obviously.
Lacazette will be in there at the moment.
Okay.
Well, from what I've seen, the problem with this video we're doing is we're doing it very early, but it's good to get started. But not a lot's happened in pre-season, so all you're going on really is the end of last season and the beginning of this season, or the pre-season and the World Cup. But as you say, with Arsenal they've got a new manager. With Chelsea they've got a new manager. By the time the season starts, Chelsea are going to have, I'm guessing, at least two more new players, as well as a few of the other teams are. So we shall have to see. Okay, so you sort of touched on it there. Which teams are going to do? Let's do worse than expected this season first.
Worse than expected.
Go on, Pete. You go first.
We're picking between those. The what is the now top pick? Really difficult. Liverpool and City. Liverpool probably should do better. Did they finish second last season? Liverpool, was that in?
No, it was United, wasn't it?
Help me out.
United.
Exactly. So Liverpool, I think, should do better. They've shored up a bit at the back. They're still going to have the same firepower. There's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be doing really well. City, I think, will go again, absolutely, and try and get that second consecutive league win. And then it's just a fight out between the rest of them. I don't reckon Mourinho's got the strength to smash it, basically. Spurs, I think, will underachieve, unfortunately, as they do.
Brilliant.
And Chelsea and Arsenal are unknown quantities. They could go either way. I mean, you never know. Either of those two teams could easily smash it on if it all the stars align correctly. So yeah.
Okay.
After like the big six, after the top six, if you can still include Arsenal in that, who was like seventh in the betting? Who was seventh and eighth? Didn't someone say that Wolves were like right up there?
It's like it's Wolves and Everton are very, very close together. Which is
I'm not convinced by Big Sam.
He's not there anymore.
I thought he was still there, isn't he?
No, who's their new manager? They've gone.
Oh, they've got Silver. Oh yeah, definitely they're one to watch. Actually, Everton.
Excellent.
Actually, I'm putting Coleman back in my team. Coleman's only 5.5.
Yeah, but that's for how many clean sheets are you getting?
Marco Silva's now the manager.
What do you think? Jamie? Oh.
You guys still here?
Yeah. Us. Gone upside down. Okay, well, we'll move on, Peter, to the next question.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Has Chris disappeared?
Yeah, I'm here, Jamie. It's you who's gone walkabout. Okay, right, Pete, I'm going to ask you a question anyway. It's a good one.
I wish that had happened before I said the thing about Sam being manager of Everton still.
We'll cut that out, don't worry.
Well, what's going on here? I can't see Chris and I can't hear him.
Okay. Well,
He is here.
He's definitely here.
No, I don't know.
Can you see Pete?
I'm having technical issues.
It's going brilliantly, this.
Yeah. Are you? No, we would never have guessed.
If you didn't have said you're having technical issues, Jamie, we'd never have known. All right, Pete.
Yes.
FFUK managers to watch this season? Have you got? Is there anyone you think?
Pete, I can hear you intermittently, but I've not got anything from Chris.
Well, we got the juice from you. We got the juice from you, Jamie. So, Pete, say.
Why don't you two crack on, guys?
Oh,
he's gone. He's going. Thanks, Jamie, for your help.
sorry, Jamie.
Thanks for your words as well.
All right, mate. Are you still hearing him? Yeah.
Yeah. This is TV gold. We've been on for half an hour, so we probably should wrap it up anyway. Pete, I was going to say to you, which FFU...
I did warn you we'd have some technical hiccups, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right, I'll leave you guys to it.
I feel dizzy.
Okay, all right. See you, Jamie.
See ya.
Bye, Jamie.
Thanks. That was Jamie, everyone. He's new to the internet, but yeah, he's loving it. So you think he'd buy himself anyway? Right. Let's move on. Let's finish. Thanks, Pete, for joining me. It just remains for me to say, spread the word. Get as many people as you can into the league. Check out the websites, and I'll just leave you with some final words from Peter.
I was going to say my player to watch.
Oh, could you?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Naby Keita.
Naby Keita.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Okay, that's wonderful.
From a German.
Jamie's back.
I'm back, and I can see you and I can hear you, mate.
Wonderful. I've just sort of started to say goodbye.
Don't tell Jamie what I said about my tip.
No, he'll never know. He'll never know. You just tipped Naby Keita, did you?
Oh no! Stop it.
That's a great tip.
I don't think he'll be in my team. I don't think he'll be in my team.
Either.
I don't know yet if he's going to be an FPL player, but apparently he is a beautiful football player.
Right. Okay. Yeah, great. Well, we look forward to seeing that beauty this season. We're gonna go now because we've been on for over half an hour. But I'm gonna try and do some more of these videos if people want to do them. A kind of meet the FFUKers vibe that we've done before, and it will basically just be asking you a couple of questions like we've done tonight about the new season, and hopefully Pete will be able to join us so he can add his little droplets of gold in there. But for tonight, thanks very much, Jamie, for joining us.
My pleasure, guys. Yeah, and make sure for the meet the FFUK as you invite someone who knows, who's got a bit more technical expertise, mate, when it comes to this sort of thing.
Absolutely. So just anyone below the age of 80 years old would be fine.
Yeah, perfect.
And thank you, Pete, for joining me as always.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Jamie. Nice talking to you.
Okay.
Cheers, boys. Have a good season.
Check out the website, check out the new league, and join us.
Come to FFUK, or as they say in Sweden, come to.